Most people think change is difficult because life is complicated. But life has always been complicated. What's new is how quietly we lose control. Not in dramatic ways. Not in moments that feel like failure. But in small, forgettable decisions that repeat every day. You don't wake up and choose distraction. You don't decide to abandon discipline. You don't plan to drift away from the person you wanted to become. It just happens. And one day you look at your routines, your energy, your focus, and you realize something uncomfortable. My life is being shaped, but not intentionally. In part 1 of this series, we uncovered something crucial. Habits are not about goals, they're about identity. But identity alone doesn't create consistency. Systems do. And in this part, we're going to look at the 4 laws that quietly shape every habit. Whether you designed them or not. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, pause here. Because what you're about to hear only works when identity comes first. Let's begin with the problem most people never notice. Chapter 4. Make it obvious. Most of your life isn't lived through decisions. It's lived through defaults. The clothes you wear. The apps you open. The food you reach for. The thoughts you repeat. None of them feel chosen, because they aren't. They're triggered. And the most dangerous habits in your life aren't the ones you hate. They're the ones you don't see. The illusion of control. People like to believe they act consciously. That they weigh options. That they choose rationally. But behavior doesn't start with logic. It starts with a cue. A sound. A notification. A room. A feeling. And once the cue appears, the rest of the behavior runs on autopilot. That's not a failure of will. That's how the brain conserves energy. Ask yourself this carefully. How many things do I do every day without remembering the moment I decided to do them? That's not coincidence. That's design working silently. Why awareness is not optional. You cannot change a habit you don't notice. And most people don't notice. Because awareness feels unnecessary. They wait until something breaks. Health. Focus. Confidence. Only then do they start paying attention. But by then, the system is already built. If cues control behavior, then environment controls cues. This is where change becomes practical. Not motivational, but practical. You don't rise to your intentions. You fall to what's visible. What's close. What's easy. Remove cues, and habits weaken. Add cues, and habits strengthen. Not eventually, but immediately. The real question is no longer, why can't I stay disciplined? The question becomes, what am I constantly being invited to do? And once you see that, you stop blaming yourself, and start editing your life. Once you see what's shaping your behavior, the next question appears. If I know what's right, why does the wrong thing still feel irresistible? That's where emotion, not logic, takes over. Chapter 5. Make it attractive. People don't do what makes sense. They do what feels rewarding. Even when they know better. Even when the cost is obvious. Because behavior is not driven by information. It's driven by anticipation. The emotional engine. Before you act, your brain runs a preview. Not of consequences, but of feeling. How will this make me feel right now? Relief. Comfort. Escape. Control. That feeling is the real habit. The behavior is just how you access it. Think about this. What feeling am I really chasing? When I scroll, snack, procrastinate, or avoid? Until you answer that, changing the behavior is almost impossible. Why? Should never works. You can't build habits on guilt. Should creates pressure. Pressure creates resistance. And resistance eventually wins. That's why forcing habits feels exhausting. You're trying to overpower emotion with logic. Logic never wins that fight. To change a habit, you don't fight the feeling. You attach it to something better. Make the new habit the path to relief, satisfaction, momentum. Not someday, but now. That's how habits stick. Temptation bundling, at depth. This isn't a trick. It's alignment. Pair what you need to do with what your brain already wants. Movement with entertainment. Focus with comfort. Growth with reward. When habits feel attractive, consistency stops being a struggle. It becomes the obvious choice. By now, something should feel different. You're no longer asking, how do I force better habits? You're starting to ask, how do I make the right behavior the easiest, most appealing one? And that question leads directly to the next realization that, even when a habit is obvious and appealing, it can collapse if it feels heavy. That's when ease becomes everything. Chapter 6, Make It Easy. There's a belief most people never question. That if they really wanted to change, they would just try harder. Be more disciplined. Be more consistent. Be more strong. But here's the quiet truth. Discipline fails not because you lack character, but because it was never meant to carry your life. Discipline is effort. And effort is expensive. It works on good days. It collapses on bad ones. And life is mostly bad days disguised as normal ones. The real decision maker. Your brain doesn't ask, what's best for me long term? It asks, what costs the least energy right now? That's not weakness. That's biology. Every habit is a path. And over time, your brain carves the smoothest one. The one with the least resistance. That's why bad habits feel automatic. And good habits feel heavy. Not because they matter more, but because they require more friction. The moment of clarity. This is where most people get stuck. They blame themselves. But the problem isn't inconsistency. The problem is design. If a habit only works when you're motivated, rested, and calm, it's not a habit. It's a performance. Ask yourself this honestly. What habits in my life only survive on good days? Those are not stable systems. They are fragile intentions. The 2-minute rule. This rule is misunderstood. It's not about lowering standards. It's about protecting identity. When a habit becomes too big, your brain starts negotiating. When it stays small, your brain stops arguing. Showing up for 2 minutes keeps the identity intact. And identity is what carries habits through hard days. The shift that changes everything. When habits are easy, they stop competing with life. They integrate into it. And that's when consistency stops feeling heroic, and starts feeling natural. They finally survive real life. But there is one final test. That no one warns you about. Not difficulty. It's silence. Chapter 7, Make it satisfying. This is the part no one warns you about. There is a phase where habits are working, but nothing looks different yet. You're showing up. You're doing the right things. And life stays exactly the same. No reward. No signal. No reassurance. And this is where most people quit. Not because they failed, but because they couldn't tell if they were succeeding. The delay problem. Human behavior runs on feedback. When effort produces a visible result, the brain says, "Do this again." But habits don't work that way. They compound quietly. And until the result appears, the brain assumes the effort is wasted. That assumption kills more habits than laziness ever could. Let me ask you something important. How many habits did you abandon? Not because they didn't work, but because nothing confirmed they were working. Why tracking actually matters. Tracking isn't about control. It's about closure. A small signal that says, "Today counted." That single feeling, that today mattered, is often enough to keep a habit alive. Satisfaction doesn't mean pleasure. It means acknowledgement. Never miss twice. Missing once doesn't damage progress. But missing twice creates a story. A story that says, "This isn't really who I am." And once identity starts listening to that story, habits don't just break. They lose meaning. This rule protects something far more important than consistency. It protects self-trust. Most people don't fail because they lack discipline. They fail because they lose faith. Faith that the effort is adding up. Faith that the delay is temporary. Faith that the process can be trusted. And once that faith disappears, even the best habits collapse. At this point, something should feel clear, not dramatic. Your habits don't need more force. They need less friction, clear feedback, and a design that works on ordinary days. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. By now, one thing should be clear. Habits don't fail because you lack willpower. They fail because the system is broken. Because the cues are invisible. Because the rewards feel too far away. Because effort feels heavier than it should. Because progress is silent. And the brain starts to doubt itself. But now, you know the truth. You can make habits obvious. You can make them attractive. You can make them easy. And you can make them satisfying. You can design your life so that consistency is no longer heroic. It's inevitable. The power was never in motivation. It was never in discipline. It was always in the system. And that system is now in your hands. But even the best systems face one final enemy. Life. Stress. Boredom. Plateaus. Chaos. The moments when motivation disappears. When routines break. When everything feels heavier than it should. In Part 3, you'll learn how to protect your habits when life pushes back. How to stay consistent when energy is low and pressure is high. And how to build habits that don't just survive difficult seasons, but last for a lifetime. Because the real test of habits isn't starting strong. It's staying steady when no one is watching.